Welcome back, fellow developers. Today we have an exciting topic to explore, JavaScript array methods. Array are the essential data structures in JavaScript, and understanding these methods will take your coding skills to the next level. In this video, we'll dive into the 30 array methods, which are categorized into the five main categories: modifications, iterations, retrievals, creations, and flattening. This is the most extensive list of array methods you can find on the internet in a single video. Before we dive into this exciting world of JavaScript array methods, just wanted you to note that the code for today will be available on my GitHub repository. You can see the QR code on the top right, and if you haven't already done that, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and hit the thumbs up button if you find this video helpful. Your support is greatly appreciated. A quick disclaimer, the categorization of these methods that we'll be discussing today is based on my own interpretation and understanding. It's important to note that these categories may vary depending on different use cases and perspectives. Well, that said, let's dive right into it. So let's get started, friends. The very first thing which we are going to do is to try to create an array. Let's first understand how the array works. So I'm going to declare an array. I'm going to insert some elements into this array and let's try to print this out. I'm printing this array by using console log. Give it a quick save and let's try to run this. Node with device and learn array.js. You can see the array is printed in front of us. The one thing which you have to note is when we create an array, the data structure created into the system is indexed. So the very first index of the very first element is 0. The second element is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in this array, the index starts from 0 and goes from there. Now let's try to talk about the very first method which we are going to try is length. It's not a method, it is just a property comes with the array. So let's try to run this console.log array1 length is, and then we are going to print array1 dot length. Give it a quick save and run this again. So the length of this array is 5. That means we have got 5 elements. I'm going to comment this code and let's try to focus on very first category, that is modifications. Under modifications, the very first method which we are going to cover is push. Okay. So what does this push method does? So this push method adds one or more elements to the end of the array and returns the new length of the array as a return variable. So let's try to do that. Const array1 equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I've got 5 elements in my array, and then I'm going to say new length equals to array1 dot push, and I'm going to push two elements 6 and 7 into this array. Let's try to see console.log array1 after push is array1 and console.log array1 new length is new length. Oops, I need to give a concatenation operator here. Give it a quick save and let's try to run this. Okay, now you can see array1 after push became 7 characters, 7 elements, and the new length, the return variable which we got from push is now set to 7. The very next method in the modification which we are going to try is pop. So let me comment this and let's try the pop method. Console const array2 equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what does this pop method do? It removes the last element from the array and returns that element which it has removed. So const removed element array2 dot pop console.log array2 after pop is array2 and the return variable. Let's print that as well. Console.log removed element is removed element. Give it a quick save and let's try to run this. Array2 after pop became 1, 2, 3, 4. We initially created 5 elements into the array. One element is popped and the removed element is 5 now. Hope you are following me in this video. Let's comment this out and let's jump to the next method. The next method which we are going to do is shift. Oops. Okay, let's give it a comment and let's understand what does the shift method does. So shift method removes the first element from the array and returns that element. What I'm going to do, const array3, again the same story, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Const removed element equals to array3 dot shift and close the brackets. Let's try to print this entire thing again. I'm going to use the same command. So I'm going to copy and paste this, uncomment this. Array3 after shift is and it is array3. Give it a quick save and let's try to run this. So array3 after shift became, it removed the first element from the array. In the pop method, it removed the last element. In this, it is removing the first element. So that is the main difference between these two methods. Now let's jump to the next method, that is unshift. Let's try to go to the end of this and create fourth unshift and comment this out. I'm going to use the same array. I'm going to name this 4 this time. Let me copy the same code and I'm going to paste the same thing here. So unshift, I'll say length or maybe new length because it returns the new length of the array. So array4 dot unshift and then we are going to add two elements. Let's say maybe 6 and 7. Array4 after unshift became array4 and the new length is going to be control Z. Let me copy this. Removed element is replaced now. Let's uncomment this, give it a quick save and run this. Array 4 after unshift is 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means this unshift has added elements to the front. If you remember, the push method added elements at the end, but now unshift is adding elements to the front of the array. Hope you are able to follow along. Copy this, comment this out. Let's see the fifth method now. The fifth method which we are going to talk about is slice. It's an interesting one. So let me copy the same code. I'm going to change the array name to 5. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do command D on my keyboard, and wherever it says array 4, it is going to get replaced with array 5. Okay, that's a quick hack you have got in VS Code. So what does the slice method do? It, it extracts a portion of the array into a new array without modifying the original one. So I can extract the new array based on some conditions. And how to utilize this? So I'm going to say new array and array5 dot slice. What I'm going to do? I'm going to pass 1 and 4 here. What does that mean? I am going to slice from the position 1. Okay, you can see the definition of this array slice method. You have to identify the starting position and you have to identify a number which you want to take a slice of. So to do that, you just need to hover on the VS Code and you will get the description of it. So let me copy this and let's print out both the arrays. Array 5 and the new array created by the shift method. Clear this and run the command. So array 5 after slicing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't change the original array, but it created a new array, returned a new array 2, 3, 4. How did it work? So from the position 1, okay, so from position 1, remember we talked about earlier, this is position 0, index 0, and this is index 1. So from here onwards, it is going to take 4 characters to the fourth position. It is not the fourth position. Internally, it takes till the third position. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. 2, 3, 4 will be printed. Starting from first position till 4 minus 1, that is third. 2, 3, 4 will be printed as part of our slice method. The next method which we are going to talk about is splice. Paste the same. We are going to utilize most of our stuff and we are going to talk about splice. So we are going to comment this array 6 and array 6 dot splice. So before moving further, what does this splice method does? It changes the content of the array by removing and replacing or adding elements in place. Let's see a working example of it. In this splice method, what I'm going to pass 2 to 6 or 7 and array 6. Let me change the variables here, and the return method which we are going to get from splices, if you look at this, it is a number which we get as a return. So let me get the removed elements, rename this variable as removed elements and removed elements. Let's see a working example first and then we'll go to the explanation how the splice method works. Array 6 after slice, sorry, it should be splice. The splice is 12675. So what does it say? It says the starting pointer, that is the second position. What is the delete counter? We are going to delete a number and then what we are going to add in place of that. So we are saying start from the second index, that is 0, 1, 2. Second index is 3. Delete 2 items, 3 and 4, and then add these items which we have added at the end. So 1, 3 and 4 will be deleted and 6 and 7 will be added. So that's how you can use your splice method. The next method to modify the array is going to be the sort method. Let me comment this out, and then we are going to talk about the sort method. So this is for sorting the array. This method basically sorts the element of the array in a place and returns the sorted array, and it modifies the original array. Okay, so the original array which you have used this function with is going to get modified. Let's try to paste the same code here, and I'm going to rename this array 6 wherever I can see this to array 7, and then I'm going to remove this console.log, and I'm going to in remove this entire thing array7 dot sort, and let me remove this entire thing. Give it a quick save. Array7 sorted is now clear this out and then run the file again. If you look at this, nothing was changed because we already had the sorted array. Let me jumble this up again a bit. 7, 3, 6, 1, 9. Give it a save, run this code again, and you can see the array is sorted now. In the next exercises, what we are going to do, we are going to see the sorting in reverse, how we can reverse the sorting in a descending way. Right now it is sorted in an ascending manner, but in the later exercises, we are going to talk about that specific uh, descending sort. Let's see the next manipulation method, that is fill. Okay. So what does this fill method does? It changes all the elements in the array to a static value from the start index to an end index. I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm going to create const array 8. I'm going to simply do the same thing, create an array of 5 elements, and then array 8 dot fill 0, 2, and 4. If you look at the method definition, what does it say? It says what value you want to insert, and then what is the starting and the ending number. It returns a number value as a output. So let's get the return value here. Let's try to print both of the things and then we'll see this in action. Array 8 after fill is now array 8, and then console.log, it should be return value is return value. Give it a quick save, clear this out, and see array 8 after fill is now 12005. What does it mean? So from the second position onwards, what we said, this is the starting position, this is the ending position. So 0, 1, 2. From the second position onwards till the fourth position, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 0, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Till the fourth position, that is 4 minus 1, internally, as I mentioned earlier in the slice as well, it takes one less than the position. So it should be 4 minus 1. From second to third position, fill this array with 0. So it has what it has done is from the position second and third, it has taken out the elements and replaced it with 0. You can see in the resultant 12005 has become the new array. And the return which we get from the this method is the same array which has been filled by this function. So ideally we shouldn't be using the return value, but just to showcase you what exactly comes out of it, I just printed it. Now let's see the next manipulation function, which is a copy within. So the next function is copy within. What does this copy within function mean? So the copy within function copies a sequence of array elements within the array to another position. So basically it is utilizing its own structure to create data within the array. Let's see how it works. Array 9. I'm going to create the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then array 9 dot copy within. I'm going to say what is the target number, what is the starting position and the ending position, and it again gives me return as a number which is similar to array 9. So I'm not going to store this value somewhere. 0 to, let's say we want 4. So the target is 0, the starting position is 2, the ending position is 4. Let's print this out. Console.log array 9 after copy within is array 9. Okay, give it a quick save and let's try to run this. Oops, what happened? Okay, I printed, looks like I printed, something went wrong with my enter key. I hit it really hard. Okay, so the array 9 after copy within became 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 5. What does it mean? So the target is 0. Copy the elements from second position till third position. Hope you guys remember when we say 4, it is 4 minus 1. So whatever is there in the position of 3, 2 to 3, copy this data to 0 position. This is the target position. So what we are getting here is on the 0, 1, 2 position, 3 position, 3 and 4 we are getting at 2 and 3 position. We are moving this data back to the 0 position. So you can see 3 and 4 is moved to the 0 in one place and 3, 4, 5 remains as is. So these are the modification functions within the array. You can find all of this code on my GitHub repository. I've shared the link in the description and you can play around with this. The next thing which we are going to talk about is iterations. So let's jump right into it. So there are multiple iteration methods provided to manipulate the arrays or to play around with the arrays. The very first iteration method is for each. Okay. So what does this method do? It executes a provided function for each array element. So let's say you have got 5 elements in your array. Now you can perform some loops on those elements. How we do that? Let's create, oh, that was the 10th function. 10th function, and I'm going to say this is array 10, and then I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then what I can do, array 10 dot for each, and then I can pick up as a callback function. I can create an arrow function, and then I can do something over each of the elements. So what I can do, console.log array element is, and then I can print out the element which I am getting as part of the parameter. Give it a quick save and run this. You can see this entire thing iterated over all the elements. If I add one more element to the array, and let's say if I want to multiply this each of the element with 2, I can do that in the console.log. So Let me run this again. You can see, oops, maybe I'm hitting the enter too hard. Okay, so array element is 2 now, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12. So all the elements are iterated over and basically it all the elements are multiplied with 2. Let's go to the next method now. What is the next method in our list? That is the map function or the map method. This is the most widely used method in all of the JavaScript codes, which you can see. So we are going to spend some time on the map method as well. What is this map method? Let me create the array first, const array 11, and then same story, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, console.log, or maybe let's perform the array method first. Array 11 dot map, same thing, element, and we can do some functional component here. Okay, so maybe we can return, oops, we can return element into 2 from this. Okay, now the question is console.log, before doing this, element is plus element. In the previous example, for each, we looped through the elements. But in the map method, we can return the values. So what we can do as part of the map method is we can create one more array as a return value. So let me create const array map returned equals to array11.map. Let's try to print both of these. Console.log array11 is, nothing should be changed from array11, and then console.log map returned value is, it should be a array of element into 2. Give it a quick save. Let's try to run this code again. So if you can see, very first thing which is printed is console.log element is element. Element is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Array 11 didn't change its shape, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then map returned value has become 2, 4, 8, 6, 10. That is this returned variable, return thing which we have done from the map method is stored into the new array. So this is the major difference between the for each and map method on the arrays. Now let's try to understand one more method in our list, that is the filter method. We are on the 12th one. Give it a comment and then create const array 12. Again, I'm going to create the same array structure, and then let's try to understand what does this filter method does. It creates a new array with all the elements that passes a specific condition in the function. How to utilize this? So I'm going to say filtered array 12 equals to array 12 dot filter. Okay, so I'm going to say filtered, and then I'm going to identify the element condition here. If the element is divisible by 2, then only we get the filtered results. Okay, so let's see this in action. Console.log array 12 is now, nothing should change on the array 12, and then console.log filtered array is now filtered array 12. Give it a save, clear this out, node. So array 12 is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we said, nothing is going to get changed. And the filtered array, the new array is 2 and 4. That means whatever the array is fulfilling the condition, element is modulo by 2. If it is remainder is equals to 0, then only we are going to return. So basically, the elements which are returning true as an output are only stored into the filtered element array 12. So that's how it works. I'm going to go to the view and I'm going to say water out so that everything should come under a new line. Perfect. So hope you are following along with me for the filter method. The next method which we are going to talk about is the reduce method. That is the 13th method in our list. Comment this out. 13th method is reduce. What does this reduce method does? It applies a function against an accumulator, and each element in the array is basically what you call accumulated and returned value is provided. So basically, if you know Excel, in Excel you do the group operations, you do the sum operations, right? You can do all of that by using this functionality, the use reduce method. So let me try to create one example for you very quickly. Const array 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to say const sum, and I'm going to sum all the elements which are there in array 13 by using the reduce method. Okay, so the very first argument which we need is accumulator and then current value. You can name it these variables anything you want, and then accumulator you can say think of it as like the last value, and then current value is the running sequence from the elements. Let's try to print this. Console.log array 13 is now, nothing should get changed into array 13, and console.log sum is now sum. Sorry, sum. Yes. Now clear this out, run this again. See, array 13, nothing got changed, but the sum is now 15. That means it has summed up all the values from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the variable accumulator. What you can do, the next method is which we are going to talk about is reduceRight. 14 on our list, reduceRight. What does this does? Basically, it is similar to reduce method, but it works from right to left. Earlier, we were adding up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This basically starts from the back side of it. Okay. And that's how you can create these values. Let me give you a quick example and then you will be able to make more sense. Array 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. I've created an array and then const returned array equals to array 14 dot reduce right. Okay, and then the same thing which we are going to do, we are going to have a accumulator and the current value in the function, and then this is the array function, and what I'm going to say accumulator, and this time I'm going to convert this entire thing into string so that you can see the impact. Earlier we were able to see the sums, Now we want to see the impact of this reduceRight. So console.log reduce returned array is now returned array. Give it a quick save, clear this out, and then go to node. If you can see, the returned array is now 54321. In the earlier reduce method, if we do the same thing, okay, let's uncomment this. And if we try to do the same thing, current value dot toSring, okay, give it a quick save. Array 13, sum is now, ideally it should be returned value, but anyways, you can see the array 13 sum is now 1 2 3 4 5. That means we started from the beginning, and the array 14 returned value is now 54321. Let me run this code again to make it more clearer. Array 13 was 1 2 3 4 5. Sum, that is the reduce method, it created a sequence of 1 2 3 4 5. Array 14, when we reduced it from the right direction, then it started from 54321. Hope your concepts are getting clearer. Let's jump into the next category of the methods, that is the retrieval and manipulation. So this is the third category, retrieval and manipulation. The very first method which we are going to talk in this retrieval is 15th number, and we are going to do the find method. Okay, so what does this find method does? It returns the first element of the array that satisfies the condition. Remember, it is returning the first element. Okay, so let's see that in action. Array 15 equals to 1 2 3 4 and 5. Const found element equals to array 15 dot find, and let's give it our condition. I'm going to give arrow function here. The elements which are greater than 2, whatever the elements satisfy the condition element greater than 2 will be returned and stored into the found element. Nothing will get changed onto the original array here. So array 15 is array 15, and then console.log found element is, give it a save, run this. See, array 15 didn't got changed. The found element is 3. What I said was, whatever the first element returning the condition will satisfies the condition will be returned into this found element variable. So that's how the find method works. Let's talk about the next method, which is findIndex. Now, if we want to get the same thing, but we want to understand what is the position of this, we can do that as well. The next method in our list is findIndex. Comment this out, and I'm going to copy the same code and uncomment this entire thing. This is array 16, so control command D. It should be this one. Command D, command D, command D, and array 16, right? And then what we want to do, we want to find the index of it. Okay, same thing, but this time we are going to get the index of it. So rather than saying found element, found index, and we are going to print this found index. Okay, give it a quick save now, and let's try to run this. So you can see the array 16, the index of the element which is greater than 2 is 2, that is 0, 1, and 2. So the found index method returns the array index satisfying the very first condition, the very first index of the element which satisfies the condition. Okay. Before moving further, let me change this directory to web so that every time we run this node command, it should directly use the learn array.js file. Okay. Now, coming to the 17 method, the next one is very interesting. You might not see this method very often. Some method. What does this method do? It checks at least one of the element in the array satisfies the condition. So basically, if any of the element satisfies this condition, it will return something. Otherwise, it will return false. For example, I'm going to create const array 17. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing. I'm going to use this same statement here, and then I'm going to rename this variable to has even number, and then let's see some method. Any element greater than 2. If yes, then sorry, remove the has even number. Has number. Okay. If the element is satisfying this condition, then return true. Any of the element in the array. So let's see console.log array 17 is nothing should get changed in array 17, and console.log has number is equals to has number. Array 17 nothing got changed, but has number is now true. That means it's one of the element in this array satisfies this condition. Now let's try to see if any of the element is greater than 6. The answer should be coming as false. And to prove that, run this code again. Array 17 is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and has number is false. It does not have any number which is greater than 6. So that's how you can utilize this sum function. The next function on our list is again a rare function which you use is 18 number every function. Okay, so what does this function does? It checks if all the elements in the array satisfies the provided condition, and if the answer is no, then it returns false, otherwise it is true. Let's do the same thing. Copy this code. I'm going to change this array 17 to array 18 everywhere. Uncomment this entire code and comment this line. Okay. So array 18 is this. Has every element greater than 2. Let's see. Every element greater than has every element greater than 2. Let's see whether the condition is satisfied or not. Clear this out. No, all the elements are not greater than 0. But if we change this to 0, is every element greater than 0? The answer should be yes. And if we try to run this, it says array 18 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and has every element greater than 2 greater than 0. The variable name should be 0. I'll rename this. Rerun this. Yes, has every element greater than 0? That is true. And all the elements are satisfying the condition. And the system returns true for this one. The next method on our list is IndexOf. What does this method does? It returns the first index, like we got the find by using the find method, we were getting the first element satisfying the condition. Similarly, by using the index of, what we do, we can get the first index, first element index, which satisfies a provided condition. Okay. So not the condition, basically the value which we are providing in the as a function parameter. So let's do this together. Array 19 equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 const first index equals to array 19 dot index of, and then we want to see the index of 3, whether it is there or not. Console.log first index is, I'm not printing array 19 because nothing is going to get changed. Clear this out. Node first index is 2. So at the second position, we have got our element 3. If we don't have the element in the array, for example, I am trying to find 6 in an array where we don't have this element at all. Let's see the behavior first. So it always return -1. First index is -1. That means index of is not able to find the element into the array. So you have to keep a note of it. When you get -1, that means you are not able to find the array, find the element into the array. Okay. Now let's see the next method. Last index of. In the earlier index of method, we were satisfying the condition where we were checking the first element which is satisfying our condition in the parameter of index of. In the last index of, we checks what is the last position of that element. For example, in this array, what is the last element of element 3? Okay, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the answer should be 7 if we run this again. So console.log, I'm going to print it straight away. Last index of 3 is array 20 dot last index of, and I'm going to say 3. Let's see the resultant. Last index of 3 is 7. As I mentioned, it checks what is the last occurrence of that element in the array. If I change it to 4, it should give me 8. Yeah, because it is the 8th element. If I say 6 again into this, then it should give me -1, as stated earlier in the function number 19. Okay, so we have covered 20 functions so far. Let's jump to the 21st function, that is includes. What does this function does? It determines whether the array includes a certain element or not. Okay. Simply you will get a true or false value if the value is there or not. So you can check this by using index of 6 element, we are getting -1, or maybe last index of we are getting -1 if the element is not there, or simply you can utilize this includes function and you can get true or false values out of it. So what I'm going to do, const array 21, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, console.log includes 3 is whether this array includes 3. Let's check. Array 21 dot includes 3. The answer should be true. Clear. Includes 3 is true. But if we do includes 7, the answer should come as false. Sorry, I should have changed the variable name. Include 7 is false. That means instead of checking the index of last index of, you can utilize includes function to validate whether the element is available or not in the array. Now let's jump to the next category, that is creation and conversions. The very first method which we are going to talk about is from. In this method, we are going to create a new shallow copied array from an array-like or iterable object. For example, let's say we have got a string, okay? And if we want to create an array for all of the characters so that we can traverse along with it, maybe a palindrome. We want to check whether the palindrome is condition is satisfied with the string or not. We can simply convert that string into an array and then traverse it from the front and back so that it satisfies the condition. So to do that, let's say const array 22, I can simply create a hello string and then const new array 22 will be like array dot from. What we are going to do, we are creating array from this method array 22 string. Let's try to print this new array is now new array 22. Clear this out, run this again. So if you can see, the new array is now HELLO. The string is now converted to an array by using the array.from method. So that's an interesting one, and it is quite a handy one to create, let's say, a test array you want to create. Just simply create a string and you can convert that string to an array. The next method on our list is of method. 23rd of method. This of method creates a new array with the specified element. So you need not to rely on the uh, reference string here. Like in array 22, we initialize the array and then we converted the string to a array by using array.from. In the of method, we can simply say const array 23 and we can say array.of method 1, 2, and 3. We can simply add values to this and console.log array 23 is now. We can simply add this and array 23. Let's print this out. Clear this. Array 23 is now 1, 2, 3. So how the next thing which we are going to do is we are going to run one more method to validate function called isArray, and I'm going to say console.log array 23 is array. The answer should come from array 23 dot is array method. Okay, so let me uncomment this entire thing and let's run this. Oops, ideally it should be array dot is array, and in brackets we provide array 23. And let's try to clear this. Node learn array 23 is array. Yes, the answer is yes. Okay, and if I change this to, let's say, hello again, and let's try to run this again. Array 23 is array? No. So we have converted that to a string. Let me move this back so that we can keep our code streamlined. Comment this out and comment this out as well. The next method we are going to talk about is toSring. Once we create the array, if we want to do the convert this array to a string, this method can become a handy thing. Array 25 number equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to convert this to a string. Const array string equals to array 25 dot to string. Nothing to be passed. And then console dot log. It doesn't touch the original array. So array 25 will remain intact and it returns the string as the argument. So array string is array string. Give it a save, clear this out, run this code again. Array 25 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is a string 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't see any difference here, but if I try to show you the isArray method, array dot isArray, and pass this array string as a parameter here. Let's see what we go. See, array 25 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and array string is not an array. That's why we got a false here. Let me go back to the original position so that it can be used by you from the GitHub. So this was the toSring method. Let's jump to the next method, which is joining. Okay, so the 26th method is join. Join method basically joins the element of an array into a string. So basically, whatever you have got in an array, you can join these elements by a separator or maybe something like a comma, pipeline. This is helpful for the cases where you generate the CSV files from the data stored in the array, and then use this CSV file to get transferred to a third-party system where you can upload this data. Okay, so the very first example could be const array 26 equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 console.log and joined array is. I'm just using console log to perform this operation. You can store this value into a different variable altogether. Okay, so for joining, I'm using comma. No, the comma is displayed on the screen. So for joining, I'm using hyphen as my variable, but in the actual world, you can separate them out with a comma as well. So clear this. Let's run this again. You can see it became a single string with hyphen separated values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that was an interesting thing coming out of the array methods. The last method on this series is creation and conversion series is concat. Okay, so let's see how it works. As the name suggests, it is basically to join two arrays. So 1 comma 3 comma 4, maybe 1 3 4 is fine. Const array 27 underscore 2 28. I can name it like that. Okay, and maybe the values will be 7 3 or 2. Now console.log concat concatenated array is now. You can get this into a returned variable as well, but I'm printing that straight away into console log. So array 27 dot concat, sorry, concat, and in the argument I'm going to pass array 28. Let's see what output I am going to get. Oops, I got my problem. So I have not commented the concat method. Let me clear this out. Let me run this. So you can see the concatenated arrays 1, 2, 3, 4 coming from 134 coming from the array 27 and 732 is coming from array 28, and that is our new array. So that was the last method in the creation and conversion. Let's talk about the next set of methods under flattening category. The very first method under flattening category is flat method. What does it mean? So basically it creates a new array with all the subarray elements concatenated recursively up to a specific depth. So it is very theoretical. I'll show you some example first. How does it work? Const array 28, and then I am going to create a array which has got multiple depths inside it. So one is the first element, and the second element is again a array, and then under that second element, the second element is again an array. Similarly, so on and so forth. So basically, we are creating a hierarchy inside one array, inside second array, inside third array, inside fourth array. Now, if we want to see the flattened version of it, what does it mean? So basically, a flat list of this entire data structure into a single array. What we can do, we can create we can use the flat method. So array 28 dot flat. Now we want to identify the depth. So right now, if I give depth of 2, let's see what exactly happens. Console.log flattened array is flattened array. Okay, and let's print the original array. 28 is array 28. Okay, let's try to print this. Array 28 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the flattened array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I'm not able to show you the right example because the node printing mechanism is like this. But if you run this on a browser console, you will be able to see the depth which we are covering is 2. That means 0, 1, and 2. We are going to this depth only. That means all the childs after this will remain nested within the original array. Okay, so you will get 1 2 and 3 as an output, but the fourth and fifth will again remain nested. To get to the maximum depth, what we can do, we can select 4, and now in this case all the elements should be flattened within the nested array. That's how you can flatten this. Rather than going by the hierarchy, you can utilize this flat method to get a flat list. The next method on our list is 29th method, that is FlatMap. This is basically this function iterates through each of the element using the mapping function and then flattens the result into a array, you can say. Kind of similar to the map function. Let's try to see the array in action. 1, 2, and 3. Const flat map, oops, flat map array equals to array 29 dot flat map, and then what we can do, we can use the element and we can return e into 2, right? So we are return multiplying each element with 2. Console.log flat map array is flat map array. Perfect. Clear this out. Node learn flat map arrays 246, right? So that's how you can utilize this function. Now the last function on our list is, we talked about the sort method, right? Now how we want to use the sort method for descending sorting. Let's see that. Const array 30 equals to 1, 2, maybe give a random number, 8, 2, 5, 7, 3, 2. Okay. Now I want this in a descending order. First see, let's sorted array 30 dot sort console dot log sorted array is plus sorted array. Let's see the result. Clear this out. Node learn array.js. Sorted array is 223578. That works. Now we want to reverse this. Console const reversed, or you can say descending array equals to array 30 dot sort, and in the sort function we are going to use two elements, a comma b minus a we are going to return. Let's try to print this. Console.log descending sorted array is dsc, oops, array. Give it a save and let's try to run this again. So you can see the sorted array is 223578 and the descending sorted array is 873522. So what I've done here is, under the sort method I am invoking a callback function which takes in two parameters, a and b, and I'm returning a value b minus a, whatever I'm getting as part of this. Okay, and by utilizing this I'm able to sort this array in the descending order. So this was the last method on our list. Hope you are enjoying the tutorials which I am preparing. If you are liking them, give my video a thumbs up. Do subscribe to my channel, and in the comment section, please let me know what all videos you want to see. I can prepare the content for you. Maybe a full stack course, maybe some dashboards, maybe some enterprise level form field searching, CRUD application. Just give me some examples. I'll be happy to prepare them for you. Thank you everyone for your time. Have a great day.